Livramento, I just don't think that we're going to be able to get him off Newcastle. Jack Grealish wanted by the major. Nico O'Reilly is not going anywhere, says Pep. Perone to Como is done. Nipan is done, but heading out elsewhere. And what do we think is going to happen? Do we think we're going to sign any more players? Let's start with Jack Grealish to West Ham. Graham Potter as the major. That's a bit of a Green Street fun for you there. So Jack Grealish to West Ham. Obviously, it's not very exciting. Exciting for us. We get him off the books. West Ham would be a sale. And as my understanding is that Everton... I say my understanding. I just read stuff off Twitter like everyone else. My understanding is that Jack Grealish is sought after by West Ham and Everton, but only Everton want him if a loan deal is possible. They don't want to pay for him outright. And that's not good for us. We need him gone off the books, off the wage books, off the wage bill. If he goes on loan, we're going to have to pay a part of that because Everton can't pay the 250, 300k a week. So we need him gone to West Ham. And we need Jack to take a pay cut at West Ham. Because the problem is, actually, it's not so much a problem. It's more of an advantage. So this year coming up, the World Cup, and you'll see a lot of English players playing out of their skin, which is probably why we've kept John Stones, because he will be playing out of his skin. Obviously, I don't know what the reason is for Kyle Walker, probably because he's a lot older than John Stones, and in the football world, he is a lot older than John Stones. But John Stones this season, I think he will be on fire. If he's not, he'll probably get injured and just make his way back for the World Cup somehow miraculously and end up playing in the World Cup. But yeah, Jack Grealish, he's going to want to play for England in the World Cup. He's probably going to play out of his skin for West Ham if he does go there. Do I think he's going to go there? Probably not. What do I think is going to happen with Jack Grealish? I don't know. I couldn't possibly tell you. All I know is he's not in Pep's plans and he will not play for City. I doubt he will play for City again. So yeah. Moving on. Nico O'Reilly is in fact in Pep's plans. Pep's come out and said he has plans for him. Now, where those plans are, I have no idea. So here's a problem, right? Left back. Vardiol, Ake, and Aït-Nouri. Is your plan to play him at left back? I don't think so, because there's enough strength and depth there now. Is your plan to play him in midfield? Well, let's look at that, shall we? Rodri's back, or semi-back. Nico G is there. Reinders is there. He played Shirky there in the Club World Cup. He played Foden there in the Club World Cup. We got Kovacic there. Who else we got there? Gundogan, so far we got Gundogan there. Bernardo Silva can play there. So where does Nico O'Reilly play? No idea. Maybe this is just a case of, no, we're holding on to you because you're a good player. And if he goes to Chelsea, he's only going to make them stronger. And maybe Nico O'Reilly's being kept for when Pep's gone. Because the club's thinking, nah, we ain't selling this. We ain't losing another one. We ain't doing it again. So let me know your thoughts on Nico O'Reilly. Do you think we should keep him? Do you think he should go on loan? What do you think should happen with him? Perone to Como is done. He's gone. That's the end of it. Well, for now. Deal worth 50 million with a buyback clause and a 30% sell-on caveat clause. This is good. I was a fan of Perone. I'm glad that he's gone somewhere and he's actually wanted to go somewhere and he's pushed for it. I'm glad of that. I'm glad that we got the buyback in there, and I'm glad that we got the sell-on in there. Because if this guy goes for big money, let's say he goes for 80 million, then we're going to make 24 million from that. So, you know, it's a chunky... Also, it's very unlikely 80 million, by the way. I'm not saying that I think he's going to go for that. I'm just giving rough numbers with a bit of copium. But yeah, so Perone to Como is done. Not very exciting, but I had to include it. Nipan is done. He's going on loan, but this boy is going to be generational. Well, that is until he goes on loan. He's going to be generational, and then he comes back and he plays 3 games for us. He's going to be generational, and then he leaves for Chelsea because Chelsea come in and Pep don't play him, and he's going to be generational again for Chelsea or clubs alike. Now, Nipan is a very, very good player. Nipan is a very, very good player. He's obviously not ready yet. He's not polished. Maybe the Haaland the Haaland friendly contact that they got between themselves. Maybe that's what brought Nipan in. Obviously, Erdegaard is a knobhead. Just joking. Obviously, he chose City for a reason. I believe he visited several clubs when he was looking. I think Villa was one. Arsenal was one, and there was a few other clubs that wanted him. But obviously, everybody wanted him. Apparently, he's the next Iniesta. So it's not long now until we get Nipaniesta. We get the Nipaniesta hashtags on Twitter. Yeah, so Nipan is done. Obviously, we have to wait a season to see him play for City, but or that's apparently what's going to happen. Yeah. So this is the big thing. What do I think is going to happen? The future of this transfer window. What do I think will happen? Do I think we're going to make any more signings? Livramento, Rodrigo, Chevalier, Costa, or Dumfries? Do I think any of them are going to happen? If any of them happen, I think it will either be Costa or Dumfries. I don't think Chevalier is even in the plans. Obviously, it was hinted. I don't think Chevalier is in the plans. Livramento, I just don't think that we're going to be able to get him off Newcastle. For 80 million, it's ridiculous, but let's not forget, Newcastle have cash. But here's one thing: if we don't get Livramento, I don't think Liverpool get Isa. I just don't think. See, the problem is that Newcastle have money; they're just not allowed to spend it. So it's obviously they're not going to want to sell their players because they don't want to be a selling club anymore. But because of the financial rules, they have to comply, and they want players as well. Just to me, it makes a lot more sense them selling Livramento for a big bag of cash than selling Isak to Liverpool, and you drop him further down the table. So let me know your thoughts on that. Rodrigo, I don't know what happens with Rodrigo. I think he's a good player. I just don't think we need him. And Pep probably thinking the same. If we squeeze him in, then Doku's got to go, or Savio's got to go, or Bob's got to go, and I just don't think it's worth it. I think Rodrigo is class, but I don't think it's worth getting rid of these, these up and coming players. We've seen good things from Doku. We've seen good things from Savio. We get to see good things from Bob since his injury and since he's come back. But these young players, there's a lot of promise there, and I think losing out on them players to sign a Rodrigo, I think it's silly. I think it's counterproductive. So let me know your thoughts on that. Costa, I think he said he's willing to wait for City. So whether Ederson goes now or he goes next season, we'll get Costa anyway. I think that's pretty much a done deal. Costa, prone to mistakes, but so is Ederson. Goalkeepers in general are prone to mistakes. I really don't like to blame a goalkeeper, because if you look at a team like Liverpool and they've got Alisson, but who have they got in front of Alisson? They've got Van Dijk. And now Vardiol is very good. Ruben Diaz can be good. But if you've got Van Dijk in front of you, you've got steel gloves on. You just feel powerful. You feel unmoved. And you feel like, you've got that security in front of you. Ederson right now has Vardiol and Diaz in front of him. And Vardiol, although a very, very good player, he has not mastered the art of defending at centre-back yet. He's getting very close at left-back, but centre-back, he's still got a lot to learn, and he still needs to progress with that football brain. And that's a big thing. Football brain, snooker brain, cricket brain, that's a big thing. And that is basically muscle memory. So Vardiol needs to train his muscle memory, as in where to go, what to do. I'm lacking a bit of speed against this guy. Where do I go to counter that? That's what Vardiol's missing at the minute. And when Vardiol gets that, he will be better than Van Dijk. and that's no joke. He will be better than Van Dijk, 100%. We'll never know because by the time Vardiol gets there, Van Dijk will either have left the league or he'll be retired. So we'll never know. That's my way out of that one. Yeah, so I think Costa is pretty much bang on. Dumfries. I think Dumfries is a backup plan to Livramento. If we don't get Livramento, I think we get Dumfries, and I think we'll do one more signing. Let me know what you think. Do you think we'll sign any more players? I think we will sign one more player, whether that be Costa or Dumfries if we can't get Livramento. Rodrigo, I think, is a no-go, and Chevalier, I think, is a no-go. Chevalier is a very good number 2, but I'd rather have Costa as my number 1. Yeah, so that's all I've got for you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The main question is, do you think we'll sign anyone else? Let me know. Like the video, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.